Let's face it, rejection can sting. And when you're a content creator building a brand online, rejection often hits even closer to home. So for today's video, I took some time to reflect on my own experiences with rejection as a content creator. And I've put together some actionable tips that I want to share with you all to help you not only shake off the initial sting of rejection when it first happens, but also to help you use rejection to your advantage so that you can evolve as a content creator and hear more yeses in the future. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. My YouTube channel is all about helping micro-influencers create great content, grow their digital brands, and make sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday, and you can also turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a video from me. So I've been a digital content creator for almost 10 years, and it is safe to say I've heard my fair share of no's over the years. In fact, I still hear the word no all the time as a content creator, and I'll even throw an example or two up on the screen to show you that it's true. So in today's video, I really want to focus on reframing your perspective when you do get rejected as a content creator, not only to kind of limit the initial hurt that you may feel if a certain project doesn't work out, but also to really use it as a learning experience to evolve and become a better creator so that you can hear a yes in the future. So let's get right into it and start off with my first tip, which is to focus on the situation at hand. You want to look at rejections as you get them, one at a time, and you don't want to compare that rejection or think that that rejection suddenly will bleed into other areas of your business or your brand. So just focus first on what is in front of you. Sometimes a no just means no, not right now. And I think we as content creators, especially because we are so emotionally invested in our own businesses, can hear the word no and kind of start to spiral off and think, oh, well, if this brand said no, there's no way I'm sending this pitch email. Or if this didn't work out, then there's no reason to think anything else will work out in the future. Your goal from sending your initial pitch email to a brand should be to get more information from the brand. You want to learn how they work with content creators, if they're even working with content creators, what kind of basis they work with creators on, whether that be paid, gifted, or affiliates. You really just want to understand what you're working with so that you can pitch them an idea that works for them and that'll be easy for them to say yes to. So just because your goal is to get more information from the brand doesn't mean they will be immediately forthcoming about this information, which brings me to tip number 2. Ask for feedback. And this is frankly a little scary sometimes because we don't necessarily know what brands will say when we do ask for feedback when we've received a no from them. I'll give you guys one of my own examples, actually from back when I was a freelance writer writing for different publications, which is a very similar process to pitching brands. I remember pitching a beauty editor at a publication with an idea that I thought was so good. I put a lot of research into my pitch, but I distilled it down into a neat email. I sent it off to her, and when I got that no back, I was honestly really surprised because I thought it was the type of story that this editor would love and immediately say yes to. And I was scared to do it, but I asked her for feedback. And it turned out that she had used up her freelancer budget for the quarter and just was so quick going through emails that she didn't have time to specify that to me. But that feedback told me that I didn't have a bad idea. They just weren't able to commission that piece at that moment. And so I ended up being able to write it later on, a few months later when their budget replenished. But that saved me from a lot of trouble of thinking that I had a bad idea or that I missed the mark with this editor, when in fact there was just a logistical reason it didn't work out. So even if someone doesn't send you a reason as to why things didn't work out, press them on it anyway and just say, look, I'm really hoping to improve here as a content creator. So any insight you can give me into why this maybe isn't the right fit for you would actually help me a lot as a creator, and it'll help me learn and send better pitches in the future that might be more aligned with what we want to do together. Now, ideally, before you're even reaching out to any of these brands, you are posting consistently on the main social platform that you're looking to build. You're creating great content and getting engagement from an audience on that content. And you've also just done your research on the company and verified that they would be a great fit for you and for your audience if you were to work together. If you're still in that initial phase of putting together pitch emails, or maybe you haven't even written one yet because you're scared of rejection, I just wanted to mention that I do have my ebook called Write on Pitch. It is a 17-page digital ebook that actually teaches you my entire pitching strategy from both my almost 10 years as a content creator and my time as a freelance writer and magazine editor. So I've really distilled all of that information and industry knowledge into one PDF for you guys, and I really think you'll enjoy it. There's tips in there from doing your research before a pitch, some email pitch templates that have worked for me in the past, and even some tips for negotiating rates. So if you're interested in Write on Pitch, I will leave a link to it in the description box of this video, and I hope you get a chance to check it out. Okay, and now back to the tips. For tip number 3, once you've taken note of what that feedback is, now you want to kind of break it down into what is actually useful feedback that you yourself can take action on, and what's feedback that maybe isn't useful to dwell on or doesn't really help you move forward. So for example, if a brand gets back to you and tells you that your rate is too high, that's okay. It might just mean that they're not able to delegate budget towards just paying you when maybe they could use that budget to work with a few other creators who charge less, or they maybe don't understand the value of influencer marketing yet, but don't worry, I'm sure they will in a few years. And it's always worth it to make sure that you stand your ground with your rates, and you don't want to work with a brand who you feel like is undercharging you anyway. So that might be feedback that isn't something that you can really take action on. It just might mean that it's a mismatch or not the right fit at this time. If, for example, the brand said to you, hey, you know, your engagement is actually a little bit lower than industry average, and we typically look for X amount of average comments and likes on engagement and posts, and you know, if you were like right underneath it, we could probably make an exception, but if you're way underneath it, it's a little hard for us to be sure that we would get a return on our investment from working with you. Now that is something that you can actually address and work on as a content creator. Make sure you go in and verify what is actually industry average. Just do a quick Google search and make sure that this brand doesn't have unrealistic expectations of working with content creators. But if you are actually struggling with your engagement, if that is something a brand has said to you, I did recently publish this video right here all about how to improve your engagement on Instagram. So I'll link that video in the cards and in the description box of this video in case you want to watch it next. And as you continue to hear feedback from brands as you pitch them in the future, keep a running list of reasons why things didn't work out either, because if you start to see patterns, then you'll understand what the most important things to address are to make sure that you are in a good position to work with brands, and it'll just be really beneficial for you in terms of going back and tweaking your pitches in the future so that you can be more clear about what you want and have a better chance of a brand saying, yeah, I want to work with you. And that brings me to tip number 4, and I'm the first to admit this is the hardest one to get over, and I still struggle with this sometimes too, but you want to remember that at the end of the day, you should be treating this like a business if this is something you want to pursue and make money doing. Because at the end of the day, you're providing a service for brands and being paid for it. So it is a business, and just in the same way it is a business to you, it's also a business to those brands. It can be extremely easy to take rejection personally, especially when you are your business or you are the face of your business, as is the case with many content creators. And as a solopreneur and a full-time content creator, it really all does fall on me to ensure that I am closing deals and am building relationships with brands and am following up and keeping up with my emails and constantly pitching and staying involved in the industry. So this actually ties back into the first tip, which is really just to focus on the situation at hand and try to eliminate a copy and paste mentality when possible. And what I mean by that is, if I reach out to a brand that I was really hoping to work with and they say no, I have to focus on that situation and say, this project didn't work out, or now is not the time to be working with this brand. And I don't want to start thinking about that mentality in all of the other aspects of my business, saying, again, if this brand said no, what if other brands will say no? Or even just big hyperbolic statements that we might make in moments of frustration, like, well, I'm a terrible creator. No, you're not. You're really, really not. And the more that you can fixate just on the moment and on that situation, ask for feedback and implement it, it will continue to get easier over time. You will see more opportunities, you will feel less pushback, and you will become more confident in your ability to pitch and talk to brands as a creator and stand your ground. I think that confidence really is the biggest part of it because you need to believe in yourself. Once you start to believe in yourself, that confidence and that energy will become apparent when you reach out to people, and they'll start to see it and believe in you too. And if you need any help with any part of content creation on social media, from choosing a main posting platform to finding your content pillars and even some basic iPhone photography tips, I do have my free guide, The Influencer Launchpad. You guys can get access to that when you sign up for my email newsletter, which also goes out every Wednesday with tons of content creation tips. And it's free to join. So I hope you will check out the Influencer Launchpad and subscribe to the newsletter. You can go to austentosone.com/subscribe to sign up and get your free copy of this awesome, awesome guide. I've heard really great feedback on it from you all, so I think that you'll really enjoy it. Do me a favor and leave me a comment down below letting me know if you had any big takeaways from this video or requesting any future video topics. I love getting DMs from you guys on Instagram telling me that you've seen my videos and really enjoyed them. And so if there's anything at all that you'd like my perspective on that I could turn into a video and potentially help out a ton of other creators too, leave me a comment down below and let me know how I can help. Please also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I do put out new videos every Tuesday, and you can turn on the notifications so that you never miss any of my videos. And please also give me a thumbs up down below if you did find this video helpful. I'll be back again next Tuesday with another video, and until then, thank you again for watching and have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.